Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not mainstream. Like, people do not know those songs. The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking Mandarin. All right, because nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously.
What up, what up, what up? It's your homeboy B. Watt, and you are now tuned into another episode of Cancel B. Watt. And today, everybody in the world knows that Kendrick Lamar performed at the Super Bowl this past weekend, just like everybody knows that Patrick Mahomes got his ass smoked by Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. So this must be a brown skin error because the light skin amongst us are out here taking L's, led by the boy Drizzy Drake. And still in all, I just do not understand why everybody has turned their backs on Drake. Like, damn, boys didn't disown Drake. This is not the point of the video, but just real quick, I thought Kendrick Lamar's performance was just okay. It was just okay. I am one of those who does not know all of Kendrick Lamar's songs. And he was out of breath most of the performance. So I'm not sure why everybody's trying to crown Kendrick. I mean, he's not a top 5 ever. He's not even the best lyricist because that would be Jay Electronica. And yes, I am very biased about this. I also am from New Orleans and Lil Wayne is the GOAT. So I'm offended. All right. I am ready to see if Kendrick is going to be able to repeat or maintain this level of success without mentioning Drake. Drake is still currently the #1 streamed artist. He's on tour. So Kendrick didn't Ja Rule Drake, but he did do permanent damage to that man's reputation. Okay. I will admit that. All right, he did smoke Drake in a rap battle, but that does not make him a bigger or more impactful artist than Drake or anybody else. I'm here to speak about 40 Acres and a Mule, and I also want to speak about Serena Williams crip walking on the Super Bowl stage. Let me explain to y'all why I do not like Kendrick Lamar and what he represents to the culture. I am sure for the last 48 hours, everybody has been watching YouTube videos of all the secret symbolism and hidden messages that Kendrick Lamar had hidden within his performance. I personally don't find Kendrick Lamar that deep or particularly that conscious. Like, because he linked up with the Black Israelites and he got all this knowledge about Ish people and African relations doesn't mean he's conscious. I never hear Kendrick speaking about supreme mathematics, comedic science, or nothing. All right, but I guess there's levels to this. Kendrick fans just want to feel like Kendrick is so deep, but he's not that deep to me. His image is of this supremely conscious black man, but he does not spread any knowledge. Or maybe it's just too deep for me to understand Kendrick Lamar's supremely iconic hidden symbolism. Shit would be dope if we knew the songs. But the only song we know from Kendrick is the one where he's calling Drizzy Drake a minor, not the ones where he's saying a bunch of, I guess, conscious stuff about something. There are currently Caucasian individuals who are out here acting like Kendrick Lamar has woke them up. Like they totally get the whole Samuel Jackson, Uncle Sam thing, the 40 Acres and a Mule thing. They get it. They appreciate it. This had to be a DEI, Donald Trump anti-American performance or something like that. All right. Something deep or culturally impactful like that. Kendrick was so out of breath during most of his performance, singing unfamiliar and unimpactful songs, I wasn't that interested. For example, last year, Usher absolutely killed it. Hit after hit, no Diddy. Kendrick had one hit record. SZA was dope. I love the way she was dressed. She was fire. Kendrick is so intentional. He has so much history hidden in his lyrics, music videos, his stage performances. No, he doesn't. He's not really that deep. I feel like people really just be overthinking and reading too much into anything. If Kendrick Lamar was really putting on for the culture and spreading consciousness and true history and whatnot in his music, today, people would have woken up offended and stirred up. Kendrick Lamar is just like any other artist, more of the same old, same old. Okay, so like, oh, wow, he said 40 Acres and a Mule. That's so deep. Nobody ever heard that before. Like, it's like Kendrick is spreading some new and sacred information. Kendrick must know something about reparations that nobody else does. There must be some important message hidden in Kendrick's outfit. Okay, they were dressed in white. It's like an outline of chalk. You know, it represents black men in chalk. Just saying anything. There must be something deep here because Kendrick is a multimillionaire black man in America married to a biracial woman and putting on for black American culture. That's so deep. This was not a revolution, and it's unfortunate that this was televised because it was an embarrassment. Reparations, 40 acres and a mule, Uncle Sam. It's not that deep. It's no new shit. Y'all gave Kendrick Lamar 5 Grammys for dissing Drake. Most of us never been to the Super Bowl. I hope to go one day. I might not go one day. I don't care, okay? I'm not interested in sport and play. All right, but I do know, and I did see, that the Super Bowl is full of white folks. Look at the crowd. There is not an abundance of melanation at the Super Bowl. So nobody there probably knew Kendrick or any of his songs, which is why those in attendance are calling his performance the worst Super Bowl performance ever. And I would have to agree with them. Good Kid, Mad City was boring. Like, it was not better than the Carter One or Lights Out, for that matter. And it was for sure not more impactful or a better project than So Far Gone. Lil Wayne has so many way bigger songs that those people in that crowd would have known. But instead, they were forced to endure Kendrick Lamar gasping for air like Patrick Mahomes in the pocket in the Superdome. It's ridiculous. Next thing. I do not understand for the life of me why Serena Williams will be crip walking on the Super Bowl stage. I understand that we live in a world which glorifies gang violence and it's an everyday norm to slide. And like, I get it. Whether it be a gang promoting drill song on the local radio or parents riding in their car with their children vibing out to NBA Youngboy, a young thugger thugger. Listen. Serena Williams is a 43-year-old, and she is out here in a blue miniskirt with blue chucks putting on for gang culture in her city of Los Angeles, California. The reason that this both irritates and confuses me so much is that many people know. I mean, it's all on the internet. Serena Williams' own sister was killed in 2003 by Crip members. They wound up serving like 5 years or something. You can look up the story. So I'm not making this up. If you lost your own sister, and I'm sure she probably lost many other people who she grew up with, probably some other family members to gang violence in Los Angeles, the capital and birthplace of street gangs in America, why would you then, 22 years later, turn around and promote that same gang by doing their body-catching celebration dance on national television? Do we all realize how many young children probably saw her do this and probably asked, or worse, probably Googled what that dance that Serena Williams was doing? I know I Googled it. I wanted to see what was going to pop up. And within a few scrolls, I was fully versed on gang culture. So I'm sure some irresponsible children probably are ordering blue and red bandanas on their mother's Amazon Prime accounts right now. So please, make this make sense to me. How is Kendrick Lamar putting on for the culture and celebrating gang violence at the same time? Although this is the same woman, I'm talking about Serena again. I know I'm going back and forward. This is the same woman who is married to a white man and is actively bleaching her skin to make herself look less brown. How is a black woman who has a white husband putting on for black culture while crip walking in a room full of white people? I think that Serena Williams disrespected her sister and embarrassed herself much more than she put on for anybody. I guess putting on for the culture still means doing inward shish, jiving, jugging, dancing, cooning. So thank you for that appearance, Serena. We really appreciate that as civilized African Americans, or whatever you want to refer to us as. For the record, Kendrick and Serena being hood, ghetto, and crip walking does not represent civilized melanated culture. You do not see no other culture of people out here doing that clown shit. Let's just take a moment and imagine Serena Williams walking around her mansion, okay, freshly bleached skin, practicing her crip walk for the Super Bowl with her multi-billionaire hubby. Make it make sense. Anyways, I'm interested to know what you all think. How do y'all feel about Kendrick Lamar's performance in the Super Bowl halftime? Were y'all vibing with it? Or do you agree with everyone, or not everyone, but all of them who say that this was the worst Super Bowl performance of all time? Secondly, how do you feel about Serena Williams crip walk dancing while her very own sister lies lifeless in a grave after having her life taken by a Crip gang member? Is it just a TikTok viral dance, or is this a gateway for our children to be exposed to LA gang culture? Also, has anybody checked on Drake? I mean, because y'all really have been mean to Drake, and at this point, those allegations that were made against Drake by Kendrick Lamar have not been substantiated, okay? Real talk. Let me ask y'all this. Kendrick Lamar won 5 Grammys from saying Drake's name. Can Kendrick Lamar make any hit records without mentioning Drake's name? And as a man, how do you think that Kendrick Lamar feels, you know what I'm saying, with Drake's name written all over his Grammy Awards, you know? It kind of reminds me of when KD went to Golden State and won those championships. Kind of an asterisk. I don't know. I know KD wasn't even feeling the performance either. All right. So shout out to KD. And for the record, I didn't watch the Super Bowl because I'm not into sport and play or entrainment. Anyways, I'm interested to know what you all think. So tap in with me. And as always, listen, like, subscribe, and tune in again to another episode of Cancel Be Wide.